the main points as to why Monte went a lot of their success in towards the open quals of the RMR. Boros was the main man leading the charge, and without him now, does it make things all the more difficult? We'll have to wait and see as we're about to get underway into map number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Mirage is where we're going to kick starting our story here in our second best of 3 of the day on towards C-Stream. Let's see how things pan out for Monte. This is an opportunity to show their worth as they'll be starting on that T side.
Indeed. See what they got in store for us. A little bit of util on Red Star, smoke flashbang. Everyone else on the old Kevlar duty. 5 USPs for that CT side. No upgrades in pistols or any attempts elsewhere. It's X5 that brings out a kitten double flash. Clax ready to fight Fessa. Close to follow. Joel blind up. Extra power opens things up for the K23 side. He's able to slip behind the smoke as well. So a very free pickup here for K23. A 5v4. Monte might think about going pushing here to try and earn those numbers back. Flash towards CT. They're calling for it. One of the own of the CT side. They were playing anti-flash. It doesn't bother Clax. He finds 2. And I feel like this retake already sealed in favour of K23. Unless this P250 of Waro 2K can find something special.
Ding coming through as well, in fact. Finnegan with him out of the question. This is opening up the P250. It's messy. Looking for the headshots. Not going to find it. Raijin for a double to see it out. And I'm with the best haircut in the game. Finds K23 their first round on the board in CT side. The positives for Monte, a bomb plant does mean they have some money to work with. And you'd expect the force buy. It is the standard meta right now. For now, though, K23 are not going to say no to that. A great retake from them. They got decent numbers to work with as well, with 3 remaining alive, meaning they're looking pretty good, and the buy should be all the same. Quad M4 A1S, 1 MP9 for Finnegan. Not too shabby.
Very nice. Let's see if K23 can convert the follow-up. Of course, that's going to be important for them. Taking down these Galils, giving Monte no chance. I did find it interesting that it was 5 Galils, only 1 smoke and 1 flash for the entirety of the T side this round. X5 under, can't be flushed out by util, so it has to be done by sheer manpower. Fess are going to find X5. So it's a 4v4, the trade-in under balcony. One that profits neither side. Of course, for K23, I don't think they'd have expected a play like this. They haven't got kits, meaning that post-plant becomes a little more pivotal for Monte. If they're able to pick up a bomb plant, you know that K23, they have to get a move on to try and take the round and make it a 2-0 scoreline.
Yeah, bombs are down. Spam coming through. Fessa takes a bit of damage, or quite considerably. He's down to 5 points of HP. The bomb plant is the priority. Now in a 4 versus 4. Retake has some space, but the post plant is the priority here.
Smoke towards ramp. Great shot, DemQQ. Down to 3. K23, where are they in this retake? It's late into the round. Exapower and Raijin both kills. Red Star spotting out, finds a bit of damage. Exapower swings. First kill for Red Star. Needs to kill off the bomb diffuser. There's a chance! Fessa from ramp. And K23 second best. Monte have them all.
That's really well played. Really, really well played from them. Professor with low HP. Just staying alive and being a nuisance is all he needs to do, and that's what he did. Spam coming through from ramp. He had the lineup perfect. And the post plants played to perfection by Monte. All they did was use their numbers and use their positions to their advantage. There was no way in which K23 could get a nice, comfortable retake in their favour. If they had a kit, that's a different story, but the fact that they don't becomes so costly.
How the mighty have fallen from M4s to Deagles. Monte side. They're ready for it. See what they can provide. They've got M4s, they've got AKs, they've got Galils. Of course, for K23, it's a pretty silent one. No one giving any sort of contact from Monte. They want to make sure these are long-distance fights, ones that they can trade. It's just very slow in general, I think, for Monte in this round. Making sure as a team, they don't make any mistakes. Joel with a very important first frag.
Should be a comfortable second as well for DemQQ. And it is Finnegan to fall. Walks straight into the trap there. I mean, for Monte, I can't see a overwhelm in which they don't just convert this into a round now. Man advantage. firepower advantage. It's so comfortable. You two will come through on towards the A site. And actually, as well, I think for K23, now that they know they've lost control of the A site, they probably won't even try to attempt a retake. Just keep on to what they got. Even those pistols are better than nothing, which would happen if they fall here in this round.
Bomb planted. Kind of feels like the fate has already been sealed for round number 3. Bomb continues to tick away. Ultimately, I don't think there's any chance that the lads at Monte can be disrupted in finding a second and taking the lead. A scout of 5-7, a deagle. That 5-7 accompanied with the Kevlar and helmet, meaning might as well keep it into the next, you know? There's no need to run it in. There's no need to die. Effectively, you can use this in the next round. You don't lose anything by saving. Just bring it forward. Try again in the next.
Good start for Monte, though. I mean, we kind of mentioned for them, they're a side that not a lot of people are kind of focusing too much attention towards in terms of their road to Rio, but we know in terms of the individuals, they've got a lot to offer. And we're starting to see some of those individuals step up. Red Star, great start from him as he's 4-1. He's really putting a lot of pressure over towards K23 to perform. And unfortunately, towards round number 4, we're not really going to see too much of a performance. It is just going to be the scout in hand. Bit of pistols. And no utility for the CT side. Apart from that one flash in Raijin's hand. That's all they're banking on. One flash to try and find some success in what I'm assuming to be a retake.
You never know, mate. Could blind them all, could kill them all. More realistic would be pinching away a rifle and running with it. Especially if it's an AK. Of course, it's elimination on the line for both of these teams. You've only just joined us and missed the pre-game. Winner of this is through to the 2-2 stage. They have to play another best of 3 that decides their fate entirely. Loser out 1-3. No more chance in the RMR. No more chance at Rio. X5 on a mighty flank. Red Star. This is going to be completely overlooked. I mean, now he's starting to back away. Gun in hand. X5 still wins the initial engagement. Monte now pick up the pace towards A. And of course, why wouldn't they? It's vacant. They can run in. It's a bomb plant. It should be another round in favour of the T side.
It should be. I mean, comfy right now. I mean, the pistols, if they can find X's, that'd be great. Right into 4. Warrow, nice. Dropping down, making a second as X5 will follow suit. Looking for the third. The AK collected on Warrow. This time a little bit more cautious. The swing off CT. Joe makes it a double.
Wow.
There's one man left alive. Exapal, the AK in hand. They heard him picking up earlier. And I don't think they really want to let him keep it alive in towards the next. They're going to go hunting.
Dip their toes in the water. Looking for damage. Warrow finding 3. His first 3 for Monte. And already a timeout being used by K23. I feel like quite premature. You're heading into a fall by. Maybe you want to set the record straight before you head into things. Personally, I would wait until afterwards to see if it's really needed. I think now is the best chance, though, and the best time to have a little bit of a breather. K23 was off to a good start, trying to make it as expensive as they could. It's just a shame, Raijin and then the AK of X5 together couldn't collect a kill between them.
For now, I don't mind the tech pause by K23 just because I know how important it is in terms of if they do lose this, they're back to an eco again. And they're back to kind of Monte finding 4 and potentially kind of 5-6 rounds off the back of it. It's just a case of them, they need to make sure that they find this round to kickstart their momentum, to kickstart their kind of performance on towards the CT side. Bearing in mind, Mirage is actually seen as one of the more CT-sided maps in the pool, so they need to put up this decent performance early doors. They can't allow Monte to find a 4th and re-break their economy once again, or this does become, well, increasingly dire going forward. Forward both ways. The only kind of low buy I guess you can talk about is the fact that Joel's got the glue in hand, but it's technically a bonus.
Full buy. K23 that need the response. X5 opening things up in favour of the CTs, so an unfamiliar one for them. One they'll be happy with. Took a little 3 AKs. All that Monte's got left to stand on here in round number 5. And a minute left on the clock. Bombs in connector. So still a bit of a way to go before we can get a bomb plant. Heading to the post plant. Red Star tried to make the jump and mask it with the sound of his AK. Neither work out. He just slips right off the end of the bench.
That's exactly what K23 were looking for, right? It's that opening kill, give them the numbers. Clax posted up too. He's expecting the aggression from DemQQ. All the way over towards Ram, and Joel with the bomb in hand coming to meet him. Just like a little for him to work with. It's going to be slightly tougher. Clax needs to be careful not to be caught off guard on the flank. The AWP will fall off ticket as the smoke dissipates. Now it becomes a little bit of a priority to try and lock this one out.
Exit power. Oh, missed shot. Clax one with the M4. Great from Joel. This Galil, it just seems more lethal than an AK at this point. But K23 with the overwhelming force. One man for the job. Red Star can't hit the one taps. And it's K23 that move forward to a second. And they are finding themselves back into this game. Finding their identity here, K23. Clearly, the pause working out in their favour.
It does. I mean, that's it, right, for them. I think that it's just about guaranteeing they get that second round on the board. If they don't, economy broken once again, and they fall, increasingly behind in towards map number 1. It becomes a real issue looking forward. Much, much better from them, just to kind of give them some security, just to give them some kind of a positive mindset. Once again, for Monte, they're just flooding in towards mid, and they've got a bunch of economy to work with.
Premature mid push here. Monte trying to get in the faces of K23. Fessa succeeds. His opening duel going the way he hoped it. No short presence. Joel going to drop a deep molly. This mid control just locked down by the T side. K23 have to get inventive. It's Finnegan coming from underpass.
A slower approach, yeah. I mean, once again, for K23, a little bit of a worse position for them to be in. With how on a knife's edge their economy is, as we've already spoken about, this is a real priority to keep that ball rolling. They cannot afford to let this one slip once further. Back over towards the A side. They've had success there, Monte. They're not going to try and hit it again. Raijin's going to be the first point of contact. Over towards CT2. Clax just tempted to rotate away. That'd be the wrong call.
Surely they don't gamble this late in the round. Finnegan's so deep towards B. He can now start to flank and basically become a lurk for the CT side. Problem is it needs to have some pace to it. It needs to have some legs. Because they are pressuring in towards this A site. Raijin slipped the net. 19 seconds finds the first. A bit too quick in my opinion on trying to make the heroics. Didn't wait for the bomb plant. Didn't get any sound cues. Now it's just all on Finnegan. 1 versus 4. DemQQ gone. But obviously now the game has been given up and only a matter of time until Monte secure a fourth, whether he gets to keep the AWP or not. Personally, I don't think Monte should hunt. Money still can be worked on. And so Finnegan going to be given space on ramp. Red Star trying to play the game for chase though.
I think he might have a good opportunity to get it as well. Red Star swinging in. Missed shot by Finnegan. That's the AWP dropped. Another round goes in favour of Monte. A great start for them as well. 2-4. Most importantly, they're keeping the long-term economy very unstable over towards K23. Another attack pause going to be called too for them. They know they're in a little bit of a dicey spot. Exit power just going to pick up the deagle. I think we're going to see a half buy here for K23. Just pistols, maybe a little bit of armor. Maybe if they want to be, extra cheeky, pick up like a scout or something like that. But I don't think it's even really worth it, to be perfectly honest. Play for the pistols, bit of utility, try and gamble stack, try and get a rifle or two if you can. For K23, it's not the greatest start.
I was wondering what the loss bonus is looking like. 2,400 for the CT side. So you can get away with an eco here. Problem is, again, there's going to be some form of sacrifice for a couple of these players. For clax and Exit Power and X5. Whoa. Okay.
Hero M4 Air S. Not often you see that, but fair.
He's got a K to his name, which means he'll be on $3,350 in the next round. That's not enough for M4 and half armor. So this is a serious roll of the dice here for X5 as an individual. And for K23 as a whole, they're hoping he's going to make a play. They go for the boost. That's the AWP whips out of equation. So the start is good for the M4.
Yeah, great start already. Needed, right? When you're investing that heavily, playing a bit of a hero role, you have to find some success. Oh no, walking straight into the grasp of Joel, though. 1 looking for 2, and he finds it with ease. Clax to follow suit. Numbers go in favour of Monte. And that rifle dropped in no man's land. These pistols, they've got no hope, surely.
It's not going to happen. USP, DemQQ, going to hear, even though it's silenced, where that USP stands. Extra power as well on the Deagle. He's going to get flanked out. Red Star coming through the murder hole. DemQQ plays for time out on A. Both kills go the way of Monte. It's a 5th on the board. And Mirage, their pick, starting to look a little more definitive. From the get-go, is wobbly. K23 certainly second best right now.
Yeah, it's very easy, isn't it? It's looking like Monte are starting to set things up quite nicely on their T side. For K23, there's been a couple of question marks about this roster as well. In towards tier 2, we've kind of seen them dwindle out of the primary names of what we see of tier 2 CS. You know, back in the latter part of 2021, it was the Copenhagen Flames and Tropic Sinners. Even K23 were always sort of in and around that conversation of decent teams, but they started to fall away in a similar sense to the way Sinners have. And a strong performance here at the RMR would have maybe reignited them out of the decent tier 2 side, but they're being pulled apart, but not this time. Finnegan for one. We'll find Joel, good opener. Orp looking for something too for Warrow. Won't find too much for the time being.
Waiting patiently. K23 on this ET side with that man advantage. Still a minute to work with for Monte though. Don't think they're going to expect the flank. Oh man, X5. Poised, ready, kicking. Telling his team, just wait. I've seen a couple on ramp. A smoke, that's perfect. That buys me a bit more time. That'll allow me to flank. That'll allow me to exploit this gap in the defense, or the attack rather, of Monte. Extra power hits the first. Finnegan a second. They know both players coming from ramp. Both players struggling towards Tetris. And X5 lines them up. A flank that becomes detrimental to the Monte T side. K23 roll back for another.
Yeah, it's a great flank. I mean, it's more or less single-handedly guaranteed around. And probably won it as well, because once X5 spotted all the bodies rotating over towards ramp, they could rotate everyone themselves, K23. Just stack the A site. It's so simple, so effective. One man's flank, one man's perfect bit of timing has found so much success. Great shot from X5 towards Red Star, but X5 to see him off. What matters? K23 continue. Just keep within an arm's reach. Monte, 2 rounds ahead. Full buys out both ways. K23 aren't giving up just yet. Raijin will be picked off, though, by Warrow. Oh, shot.
Warrow. The Orp, the Mammoth, the Beast. Delivering. He was great in the online era. I think back to the X-Mad Lions days when he was Orping for them. A lot of people, you know, the memes on HLTV and on your Reddit threads and forums saying, where has he been this LAN? As an individual, maybe not so much there. But certainly looking potent in this round for Monte. 5 versus 3. Well, sorry, 4 versus 3. 5-3 the scoreline. It should be a one-way ticket to Monte's 6th.
You'd expect, right? For now. It might even just be that kind of early save call. The bomb still needs to go down, but with a kind of a free run all the way over towards that B site, you'd expect that to be... Okay, no, they are going to actually just commit towards A. And that nearly got dicey. If clax held on 4 in towards ramp, they would have been fine. If he had just played a little bit more of a passive approach, I think he gets just a little bit over-curious. And does cost him the potential of a kill or 2. Now with the remaining 2 over towards B, yeah, they'll see this one out. Bombs go down momentarily. Still 20 seconds on the clock, but they've kind of cleared the majority of the angles. X5 flanking this time, but it's too little too late.
I think Finnegan and X5 already positioned for the save. So AWP picked up an AK in the hands of X5. It's as good as it gets for the remaining 2 players. Some flip side stickers. Do you see that? That's a
old school.
throwback. That is a throwback.
Extremely old school. One
Gone.
piece.
Yeah, not bad, but this greatly profits the T side of Monte. They know X5's position. They know he can't get the AWP. Great adjustment onto DemQQ. Might actually be able to slip away with a big green because Monte have left it completely unattended. Bomb's going to detonate. Both players run into under. Joel, he's going for it. He wants it. But Gonna hit the steps though, and yeah, of course, it's given away to the T side. If X5 was silent in his approach, maybe it could have gone the other way, but instead, Monte, they'll make it expensive, they'll make it costly, and they'll make it 6.
It really has been great. I think for Monte, you're already starting to see kind of how they're approaching themselves on towards this T side. They're very good at kind of just pulling apart the K23 defense. And you'd also bait the question of kind of how the K23 go about changing things now. I think their sleazy approach has been, for me, a little bit too passive. They're not taking that initial map control. They're struggling to get mid control primarily. We've seen time and time again Monte get it pretty much for free. One smoking towards window, one smoking towards top short. And it's simple. They can just run their way down mid. They can wrap in towards connector, wrap in towards short. They really want to take the fight there. It's been a pretty simplistic approach. In a sense, they're kind of playing this like a pug, right? They're just going for early map control and banking off the back of individuals to step up and get those kills. That's where we look towards players like so far Joel and Red Star, who've been individually quite great in his last few rounds. For K23, their slow approach, while it's netting kills here and there, especially to players like X5, him being that rotating player, he's not having that much impact in terms of denying the bomb actually going down or denying rounds going in favor of Monte.
X5. Top of the cap spotted for Warrow, that's enough. He wants to swing further, he collects his first. Yet again, opening things up with the AWP. Deagle of Raijin getting aggressive in the face of the T side to look for a response. Fortunately, the Deagle shot echoes. That one doesn't. Pff, takes a head straight off Vesta's shoulders. 4v4.
X5 falling really does open things up as well, because he's been the main impact player, and these pistols, you don't have too much hope in them. I'm going to repost over. Monte a little bit shook off the back of that headshot. They're kind of a little bit cautious to overextend. Going towards B. Let's open the door for a conversation here, because Raijin's going to make it yet one more. Joel to Ford, another important kill, and the numbers kept level.
This Deagle, yeah, it's put to sleep by Warrow, but there's another one on short. Finnegan really needed to find the third. Didn't happen. It's only 2 casualties for Monte. I think there will be a sigh of relief for that T side. Definitely could have looked a lot worse. They are going to walk away with the 7th round. So maybe a blip that third for K23. Starting to gain control once more over this T side of Mirage. Got to be careful because the next round is a full buy though for the CT side. So we'll have to wait and see. I must admit, in the downtime, I said it in the pre-game as a bit of a meme, but I'm genuinely at a loss for words for how cool Raijin's hair is.
Cool's one way of putting it.
Are you not a fan?
It's different, isn't it?
It is definitely out there. Like, I couldn't tell you many people I've seen with Finnegan's hair, like, ever.
I think Finnegan's hair? Raijin's hair. Finnegan's got a lovely buzz cut.
Sorry.
Nice and clean.
Yes, Raijin's hair.
Yeah.
I was going to say, he's just lost it. No hair in the eyes, you know, no fringe, no nothing.
Yeah, I know a couple of people commented on Mister's hair. You know, obviously it's quite low on the forehead, covering the eyes slightly.
Oh yeah, I did see the memes about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Astralis actually did a very good meme. They actually did a very good meme where it showed like his POV, but it was like the hair taking up the top of the screen. Fair play to them. All the memes though didn't help them qualify. You hate to see it. 7-3, K23.
Too soon.
Might be following the same suit at this moment because they're 4 rounds behind on the CT side. Map 1 looking very good for Monte. They're 1 round away from guaranteeing a lead. And X5 already taking quite considerable damage.
I was going to say Monte acting chill in this one, but it's an explosive play towards A that rewards them with a 4 versus 4. X5 low on HP as well. A Molotov to try and cut circulation from jungle. He's able to escape the clutches of Monte's T side. There you have it, the bomb plant, it's all set up. It's a retake once more for K23. Raijin opens things up, great flashbang. Denka caught blind. Warrow and Joel, 2 versus 4. AWP and AK. With the AWP already missing the shot. Joel boxed in. K23 should have this one good as gold. X5, he walks into it, Raijin. One more, Warrow, 1 versus 3. Collects it, looking for a second extra power. We'll snuff that one out. And it is indeed a 4th on the board for the CT side.
Easy stuff. needed as well. We're kind of saying this was starting to get quite concerning. With Monte being on the brink of guaranteeing 8 rounds at the half and probably the possibility of taking at least a couple more, you do get concerned about what K23 can do in a response. That's much better. The bomb does go down, which is a priority, but this time the retake much better, all because they play the numbers and they play the trades. It's quite simple, but effective all the same. 3-round gap, K23 trying their best to whittle it down, and winning this round and making it as cost effective would be the best way to do so, because that can break that Monte economy and get them right back in the conversation to finish off this first half.
Let's see it. It is a 5v4. Or 5v5, excuse me. Fesser's low. Single AWP for the CT side. One for Monte as well. It's a game of patience that Monte have been playing. You would expect with the names that you've got on this team for fast plays, flashy 3Ks, you know, all of the stops being pulled out. Instead, I thought it was a lot more calculative for Monte. It's a lot more chill. Recognizing that, you know, Team CS sometimes it's a battle of wits rather than a battle of aim. Certainly no wits about the flashbang. Poor DemQQ just going to get absolutely blindsided. .50 seconds left. Molly towards window. K23 being forced away from a lot of these angles.
Fesser low on HP needs to be slightly more cautious. I mean, they could actually just use him as a bit of cannon fodder. Send him in, trade him out, get a bit of space on towards the site. But Fesser, now he's posted up in towards Palace. Draws some attention, maybe X5 for the first. Quick trade from Fesser, though. And Warren Red Star answer for one more apiece. In towards Murder Hole. Red Star, I'd recommend against it. It's Finnegan and Raijin trying to make a retake work. And of course, at a 3 versus 2, there's a possibility.
Shots are just blasting off at the massive. All 3 players for Monte are low. Which gives this M4, I was going to say the HE a chance as well, but it is misplaced. No one from Monte going to be eating that one up. Raijin making all the steps in the world, picking up the USP, switching to K. Doesn't help him at all. Warren holding the cross, and it is all settled in. It's an 8 on the board for Monte. K23 second best again, and this time with no money to support them either, it's going to get even more difficult.
Yeah, the mid-round adjustment there in terms of how they change that tempo, bursting up through con, really well played. X5 good for 1, but the fact that they make it only good for 1 is what matters most. It's all about playing that trade game on towards the A side, denying a bit of that presence. Comfortable, works, Monte, guarantee that lead. What more can they find? Double digits seems like a real possibility now, especially with K23's economy back in the bin.
Head start. Easy delivery for a double kill. Pistols, they do wear away at the HP bar for Joel. He's going to bail his teammate out and make sure these 5 AKs, or the 5 rifles, excuse me, stick with this Monte side. It's 4 AKs and an AWP. 0 casualties would really profit a T-side economy that, for the most part, I feel like have been very dominant this game. You know, Monte as a whole, they've kind of been pulling out all the stops. The fact that the richest player right now is Waro and Fesser, both with $2,750. I don't know, we are ending in the half very soon.
Yeah.
But I'd just like to have seen a little bit more money behind the names. I'd have thought they were going to look a little richer than what they are.
Yeah, even when Monte have found success, a lot of the time it's been quite expensive too. So I think it's just for them, they haven't really been given the ability to build it up. Despite K23 not having too much of an impact in terms of putting rounds on the board, they've at least, you know, managed to warrant a couple of kills most times out. This time, looking pretty unlikely. The 5-7 of X-Power not going to find too much success. He'll tuck himself in towards Sandwich. It looked like they're going hunting. I'm not really too sure why, because they know they're against pistols. I don't really see there being any necessity apart from for stats, but I'm not going to question them. Go for it. Fesser on a little peek. DemQQ peeking, and Fesser will put another notch onto his tally. Up to 10 for him. Real good individuals stepping up for Monte as they find 9 rounds on the board. That's a 5-round lead now over K23, and what is a great T-side start.
It's looking brilliant, isn't it, for now? K23, a 3rd timeout on the CT side. Starting to get a little bit worried, you know, with all these timeouts being burnt out. I think we saw a perfect example at the start of this RMR, you know? I think it was like, we had a game and it was like
It was
so many
Fnatic Bay.
timeouts.
They used like 3 out of 4, I think, in towards their first
and then they
half.
just didn't have any towards the end of the game.
Yeah, they
And
used
then,
their 4th in the when they lost the
like,
force buy.
round 14 or something like that. Round 13, round 14.
Yeah,
like
so
the fourth timeout call.
No, they used the 4th in like round 18 when they lost the force buy, basically, and then no economy. And then later on, when Bay was just running away with the game on Ancients, they tried to call one. Like, they actually typed it in. They couldn't get it off. So, unfortunate. So at least they had to play things out. And it actually became very costly. This is kind of what we were saying back then. We were like, you know, if they just held one in a late game, it might have been alright. But not to be.
Waro. Nice attempt. Nice try. Not meant to be, though. Flash in towards B. Red Start, yet again, just looking for that Apartments Hall control. He's been pretty solid on it as well. You know, I think back to the last round, double kill on the eco. Him and Joel chiming in for a few. Where they do want the presence and they take things slowly. Monte have been pretty consistent in round wins. Penultimate of the first half. It's K23's gamble. The roll of the dice that would put them in prime position should they take a 10th, probably for an 11th as well. Finnegan, the bait and switch. Let's see if Raijin sold it enough. 2 for 1 in favour of K23. Raijin still kicking. He's done a great job with the A1S as he continues to plough through the Monte side, while the USP or the M4 couldn't pick it up. It's the nade to get the triple. Joel against 4. And he's on nowhere to be seen. On short, alone, no chance. It's K23 that just about survive to make it a 5th.
9 of 4. Pretty nice, actually, from K23. Much better from them. No saving as well is a positive, but I mean, we're in the latter stages. Doesn't really make too much of a difference. 9 to 5. I think Monte have already, for me, done enough. Probably the best way I can put it. If they can find double digits, that would be huge. But I think even if they got 9 and they see it off at a 9-6, that's a real positive start towards their map pick. Utility was much better this time out from K23. They get early damage, which allows kind of the rifles to do God's work. But we start once again. Red start to 4. X-Power on AWP, causing problems.
Nicely taken care of, isn't it, K23? Starting to find their identity on the side. X5's Molly going to take down Joel, who he had Raijin removed just a second before. 4 versus 3. Yet again, the numbers fall in favour of Monte. But we know there's always a trick up the sleeves of K23. A minute and 17 to try and perform the stunt. Monte need to pull the wool over K23's eyes if they want to get away with a 10th.
Right now, X-Power is causing problems. That AWP is being much more impactful in towards these last few rounds. He's had a slow start, X-Power. 3 kills in the last 2 is really not too bad. Spacing towards window for Fessa. He's been held at X5 as all too well. A couple of pop shots, not going to find their targets. But space for Fessa to work with over towards A. The question is, what can he do with it?
Power holding things down. Monte plucked apart 1 by 1. K23 secure a 6th. At the halftime whistle was a lot closer than maybe people at home would have thought. First stint of rounds going in favour of Monte. Ultimately, K23 better late than never get themselves 6. So the gap is at 3 as we head into our second half. It's the Monte map pick. It's their CT side up next. Can they close things out, or will K23 nick the pick of their opponent away? We'll find out after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey Future Pros, we have another execute for you and your friends to learn. This execute will help when you are taking the B site on Mirage. For this setup, you will need at least 3 Future Pros and 3 smokes and optionally a bunch of flashes. Let's break this down. Future Pro number 1, you'll be throwing one of the arch smokes. To do this, line yourself up with this corner of the cracked stone floor. Aim at the left side of this dark squarish smudge on the wall, then simply jump throw the smoke. Since you threw this from close to mid, I would recommend wrapping around cat to get to B, or maybe holding off rotations in mid. Future pro number 2. You will throw the other arch smoke. To do this, line up with the middle part of this window. Aim to the sky and position your crosshair so it is in the middle of the antenna and the overhang. Then throw the smoke normally. Future pro number 3. You will be smoking off the window leading into the B site. To throw the smoke, get yourself into this corner. Aim at the corner of this large tower, then jump throw the smoke. Nice and easy. With all 3 of these smokes thrown, taking the B site should be much easier than it would be without them. To make this even easier on your team, get your players to lob as many flashes as possible over the top of B. And as always, good luck.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Great half, I have to say, from Monte. 9-6 off the back of a brilliant seaside start from them. From K23, there was moments of brilliance, but it wasn't consistent. And we need to see a little bit more of that heading in towards their now T side. But they've got a tough task ahead of them if they want to take Monte's pick of Mirage.
See it. Monte, their pick, their chance. K23, of course, have their map pick up next. So for Monte to set themselves off on the right foot and probably give them a little bit of hope, they certainly will be looking to do it justice, their pick of Mirage here, especially on that CT side. Flashes don't particularly affect DemQQ, but with the dink forcing him off the angle, Warrow, he has to step in and provide his own assistance. Monte, 5v4, kit for the retake as well. They've got 40 seconds to make it stick.
Clax, X5, one apiece. Raijin adding to it as well. Looking like a near flawless round for K23 on their T side. And more or less is 2 casualties for them. Well, they'll take a 7th and a great start to build up a bit of economy, a bit of momentum over towards that T side. For K23, what was a little bit of a yo-yo affair over towards their first half. We saw moments of brilliance, like I mentioned, but it wasn't consistent. This is how they kickstart the momentum, get a bit of a catalyst to success, and long-term economy looking a little bit better. Nice buy for them to come forward. A full buyout for Monte, but it isn't really going to bring in too much to the table. Just a scout and a few pistols for K23 to deal with.
Close. Ready to try and push ramp. It's a triple stack for Monte. Red Star fires 1 bullet through the ramp smoke. Hit any opponent. X5 squeezing himself out towards Tetris. Opening kill goes their way. Leaping over the top. Checks below him. Be rewarded with a second. I think it's looking pretty easy now, isn't it? That this T side, 5 versus 3, now made it down to 2. Monte, they try their best at the force buy. It's done.
Bomb down, Deagle will find himself a couple. They're at least making this expensive. If they're going to go down, they're going to go down fighting. For clax, don't peek now. Don't give the Deagles an opportunity. For Finnegan, he can post towards Tetris. He's allowing the cross to come through to bait them in. The shoulder spotted. Damage dealt as well. At the very least, information gained. The Galil will be good for 1, but only 2 remain alive. While Monte make it expensive. That's all they're going to find from it.
I mean, as you said, the expense was quite big T-side of K23 punished accordingly for overstepping the mark a little bit. It was a great 2K from X5, making so much space with a MAC-10. And then we kind of just pushed one by one there, the K23 side. A little bit sloppy from them, expected a little better. Let's get straight back into the swing of things, though. All the nades in the world being lobbed out towards connector. No one playing the game of catch from Monte, though, and a missed molly in window. Not the ideal of starts here for K23. Second one does land. DemQQ forced into it. X5, while his opponent stands in the flames, they'll show him the ways of the AK. 5v3. And as you would expect, this sort of weird half-bite eco-type scenario, I mean, might be rewarded with a couple of kills, but Monte certainly second best. Yeah,
if it was a P250, they actually might have finished them off. Get to think. X5 down to 10 points of HP. But yeah, I mean, this kind of weird and wonderful buy for Monte isn't going to amount to too much. And X5 will make sure of that. They'll see it out. Flawless round for them, tying the game up 9 apiece. And now K23 on their T side. What a start from them. It was a pretty iffy kind of a first half where it was a little bit all over the place. The finish was a lot better than how things started out. But now they've come out, all guns blazing in towards their T side. They're controlling the tempo, which is where they're much better. And Finnegan is calling a very good T side thus far. This is the true test, though. Is he a full buy coming out for Monte? And how do they answer back of what has been a pretty poor start to their CT?
All tied up heading into round number 19. Certainly going to be an interesting one. I think, with K23's buy, it's a little bit wayward. We've got Galils and MAC-10s with stacks of utility. Yes, for K23, the plan, the idea is to close the gap. Nice dink. And the molly from DemQQ will finish the job. The M4 when it started the engagement. And actually the return smoke, he moves through the K23 offensive. Ops against it after emptying his magazine, doesn't cough up any kills. I think for Monte now, it's just about keeping this man advantage, prepping for the retake, getting ready. Try and find the holes in the defense. There's your second. Raijin goes swinging. No trade either. DemQQ collecting his double. Make it a third, actually. DemQQ, he's having an all right round. Finnegan and Exapower both with kills, and the AWP is still kicking for DemQQ. He needs to go sticking. He'll have enough time to swing out and find the fourth. Doesn't matter that he doesn't have a kit. There's still enough time to get the defuse. It is indeed Monte get the lead.
Yeah, it's made expensive. I guess it is a positive note, but in the grand scheme, Monte really getting a bit of that success. Much, much better from them. We saw moments of brilliance where we thought, potentially X-Power could pull off a little bit of a highlight play there. Not to be. Shut out off the back of the missed shot into his back default, and Monte, they regain a very, very slim margin of a lead here at 10-9. We're going to see attack pause called, and it's the 4th out of 4 used by K23. There's no room for error now. This is their last pause. If they get into a sticky situation later on towards this map, they will have no ability to stop the momentum over towards Monte. I think it's very risky because we saw this not work yesterday with Fnatic versus Bait.
I don't know. I'm a little bit worried now that we're seeing timeouts called so early on, and all 4 of them used in the first 2/3 of the game. That certainly isn't what we wanted to see. As you said, now if Monte start getting a bit of momentum and a little bit of success under their belt, K23 don't have that 30 seconds breather to try and stop them or to rethink their game plan. It's just going to be purely talking about it during ecos and letting the game run out naturally. Monte control the tempo of when these 30-second gaps arise. They've been doing all right on this CT side as of so far. Going to get the run boost out. X5 coinciding with the flashbang. Waro didn't see it coming. Ultimately, mid control, at least top mid, is established for the T side, but at some expense. It is indeed X5, 13 points of health.
That's it for now. I mean, X-Power to 4. Opener. Nice from Waro. Not a lot of damage dealt. This time they have the Raijin. Nice shot from him. Joel will fall. The numbers brought level now opens things up for K23 while they're taking damage. They've got space in towards mid to use in their favour.
HP for X5 from earlier on. Raijin also at half. In the 4 versus 4. It's Certainly not the best scenario for K23 to be in, especially when you think it was the pause called at the beginning of this round. This was the one that K23 wanted to create chances with, to seal the fate, put them in front, whatever it may be. Final 30 seconds for the T side to make their move, but the bomb is going in the right direction. There's only one defender out towards A, DemQQ in CT. I don't think he's going to have much of a chance to deny X5 from punching in the digits, unless, I was going to say, the swing is unsuccessful. It's fine. Finnegan gets one on short. Here's the scope of Warrow, definitely hearing the AWP. DemQQ, though, hold on, 10 seconds. Bomb dropped on ramp. Is there enough time? 7, 6, 5. It's close. The bomb does go down, but with a whisker between a round lost there and the bomb plant. Clax now needs the clutch, finds the first, knows the AWP of Warrow was on short. Just about isolating that fight, swings out, good tag. Warrow baited, and Clax with the 1v2. Hat-trick for him in the round. It's tie game at 10-all.
Yeah, Monte have kind of showed that as well. I mean, that was pretty rough. They couldn't even deny the bomb on crossing. The one player in towards connector, baiting a lot of the attention, is all that was necessary for K23 to see that one. And for Clax, credit to him. 3 kills to his name, and those final 2. Pressure on his shoulders, he makes it work. Now at 10 apiece. For Monte, back to the drawing board a little bit in terms of this low buy. They will ever fall in towards the next. It's just pistols to one MP9 to try and make something work here. I'm not expecting too much, but Joel going aggro, pop flashing towards under, gives away his ruse. He's running it down with the MP9.
Oh, look at the players. They're so blind in apartments. Finnegan, no clue where the sky is. They are able to dismantle of this Monte underpass rush quite quickly. How things could have looked so much more south for that C side. K23 fortunate to be walking away with as many lives as they can. It is only X5 removed from this one. Still a Mac 10 in Raijin's pockets. But I think they've got the maximum out of this round. Making good money. Creating good chances. DemQQ just slips away from Raijin there as well. I think this 5-7 is going to look to go hunting. I think he has been spotted though. Looking at where everyone's like aiming at, you see the little triangles where they point. Yeah, look at this, the flank. They know Exapower's holding it. Hello, I see you. Sure, it's an MP9 picked up, but that won't last long. Oh, Raijin, he's gonna. Oh, don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh, why left click? Why? You've just trolled it completely. If it was a right click, you'd have killed him. You'd have got your $1,500. Instead, DemQQ spared his life.
Oh, yeah,
Trolled.
I mean...
Trolled.
Not exactly sure what was going through his mind just then. The macro scale of things... Not exactly sure what the mess at the end there was. The left click was a little bit troll, as you mentioned. But, yeah, Raijin, man. Right click is absolutely fine, but... Yeah, I'm not sure. I really can't even explain what was going through Raijin's head then. But even still, K23 up to 11. One ahead of Monte, but full buy out for the CT side. It might be a rush towards B.
Finnegan, 1 kill. Joel traded. Oh. Finnegan a second. Fess up. Trading. 3 versus 3. Not bad. It's gone quite pear-shaped here for Monte on the B hold. Fortunately, HP is something that benefits them. Locked out of this site. K23 can afford for the bomb plant and wait for Monte's move. That is a massive luxury, especially in these scenarios where catching one player off guard is really the make or break for this CT side economy.
DemQQ's missed the smoke. They know he's coming from apps as well. But also it's kind of given a bit of space on towards the backside too. It's sort of worked in favour unless Exabal swings out. That's so risky from above bin. One to be fired to one apiece. Fess is still posting up, jumping out a window, straight into the hands of Clax. Now the 2 versus 1, time ticking. Fessa has to pull the trigger now, and Clax has other ideas. One missed smoke from DemQQ gave away his ruse and gave Clax space and time with a bit of a one-way smoke in towards that backside. It's unfortunate, but it's costly.
Just to think, Raijin could have been $1,500 richer. Like, I still can't get over the fact that he's just sent it in with the knife and just went for the double left click.
Yeah, it's risky. Didn't work.
It was. Monte calling for a timeout now. K23 starting to maybe cause some issues, forcing Monte to have a little chat about it. Guys, what's going on? We're now second best. We're losing our map pick. This was meant to be our first map, the pressure should be on K23, not the other way around. Hoping there's some change. There is some response. There is a Monte side that we're yet to see that's unraveled here in round 23. It's a half buy though, majoritively speaking for the CT side. 1 AWP, 1 M4, 2 Deagles, 157. And a lot of hopium, I think, for the CT side in this one. It's just a little bit pear-shaped. I don't know why we're not keeping the economy level with everyone.
It's a very mixed buy. I'm not too sure what the call is here because, you know, fail for this. If this one falls through, right, and Warrow and Joel fall, the buy-in towards next is going to be the same in reverse. You know, 3 players with heavy investments and the other 2 on kind of nothing. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure if they're kind of just relying on Joel and Warrow and expecting them to find a wealth of success. I'll have to wait and see. Either way, the Udo is going right into their hands. Warrow, that molly will force them off to 5-7 for 1. Their gun's causing problems, but it's a 1 for 1.
I mean, it's easy, isn't it, now? For K23, sure, they lose out on a weapon, but there's still plenty of pistols for the CT side that they have to work with, not to mention the AWP has just been dropped. Red Star looking to scoop it up. Fires off, but now he's stuck, and Exapower will have him taken down. It is by elimination. You talk about the money. Red Star, DemQQ, Fessa, all enough for M4s for Warrow and Joel. I mean, maybe, just maybe, they can squeeze out a couple of weapons between them. But as you can see, as Joel and Warrow both invest, it's 2 M4s and 1 flashbang between the 2 players that invested in the last. Had they just been a little more patient, they'd be having all of the money in the world.
Best way to put this is that not looking too comfortable anymore for Monte. And it started so well as well, right? I mean, this map was looking great for them. But K23, they've really turned things back on their head. Now boosted towards short. For Joel, strong angle to hold, but mid control looking pretty good over towards K23. They got some space to work with. 1 over towards boxes. 3 players in for support too. A re-smoke in towards window, and they're absolutely secure to take mid and split off the back of it.
Good flash. Halting some mid-progression here for K23. But it's a buy that puts Monte on their last limbs. This is it. The do-or-die round for the CT side. Joel coughs up a first. Up the ladder, he swings, clax, trades, Fessa through the smoke. This is a poor short smoke. There's a gap in it. They can cross. It's a dink. It's no kill with the AWP. And it's DemQQ that comes knocking on the K23 doors. Warrow's to close the show with Red Star. And they move up to 11, the gap back down to 2.
Closer, getting closer, and of course that's caused some implications over towards the T side. Thereby, it will be a little bit weird in terms of a drop has to come through. X5 might lack a little bit in terms of, you know, like the lack of utility, maybe a little bit more limited. I think for K23, it's a bit of a hiccup there, but the way they're playing so far, they've been absolutely fine. So I'm not going to get too concerned just yet. Monte just won their Angels. Simple as. For Monte, a long road to get back into this for them, especially with K23 being so close. You get very, very concerned about, can they keep up this consistent face on towards their CT, which so far has struggled to find those consecutive rounds on the board. Over towards Palace, a little looking, nothing to be spotted, and they'll fall back off the back of it. Smokes out towards A, looks like they might go for a standard A here. Smokes towards Con and Stairs, might just plug their way on towards the site.
Under his nose lies Raijin. Swings out enough to see his head, and of course, Warrow 2K will always win that fight with Raijin's back turned. 5 versus 4. K23, they had such a lead, and Monte's economy on the knife's edge. If they lose this round, this is the morale boost that Monte need. Warrow and Fessa both with kills. It does end up being a 2 versus 3. Finnegan needs to hold down connector spot in the arm of Fessa. More importantly, Exapower one with the AWP. And that bomb, it does go down. Do they know there's one in CT? Exapower. Oh, it's all about timing. Finnegan also taking the fight to Fessa. Wants to close the gap. Fessa trying to open it back up. Finnegan now knows he needs to force the issue in the 1v2. He's pinned down. Red Star takes the fight. Low ammunition. 5 bullets left, but it's enough to take down Fessa. It's a 5-second stick. No chance. Other side of the boxes. Wall bang too short, and Finnegan can't find it. Red Star holds it down, and it's a 12th on the board for Monte, and they kill all 5 terrorist players. K23 rocked completely.
Yeah, numbers game completely there. Fessa diverting attention in towards lower con. That's all that mattered. Keep Finnegan's eyes on him. Keep him cautious. Warrior gets a freebie until Raijin. That kickstarts things. While the A hit is good from K23 to get the bomb down. Somewhat of a post-barn setup. When Finnegan's in a 1 versus 2 there, he's caught in 2 mines. He can't cross back to deny presence over towards back triple. It's an easy stick for Red Star. Fair play. Monte up to 12. K23 down to just the low buy. Just pistols.
Red Star. Wall bang. Was that through? Oh, it was. Look, the little spammable pallet in apps. Good night. Raijin, that's a tilter. One hell of a way to go down. To be fair, I'm looking at kill distribution for this K23 side. I'd argue this has been a brilliant team game from them. Good team effort. 14 to 19 is the gap for Monte. They're not too far off either. It's 12 and 20. It is certainly there. 8 kills the difference. K23 have been quite good on the distribution of fragging power, and that's something that we highlighted in the pre-game. We know this is a team that really can pull out the stops, and you can rely on every person individually to make that round-changing performance. Clax hitting us with 360s as he moves into apartments, and it'll be the last moments of round 26 that K23 make their presence known towards B.
Yeah, they're trying to go for a bomb play. I don't think they'll find it. They're being held. Red Star got a pretty decent idea. There is a double flash for X-Power to work with. Over it comes. Red Star avoids the first. Finds the first kill. Trying to transfer for a second. Won't be able to deliver. Collapsing for the trade with a deagle. But getting towards the site seems more or less impossible, to be perfectly honest. Okay, maybe not. Clax will at least make it expensive. 2 casualties found. In the grand scheme, Monte tie this game back up 13 apiece. We are getting a little bit of a marathon of an opening map here.
It's an enjoyable watch, it really is. I mean, for the people at home watching, you'd probably call this the sleeper matchup out of the 3 on the streams right now, wouldn't you? I think on the B stream, Luminar, Sangal, it's always a fun one, the eliminations, and then on the A stream we have Falcons Heat, the French derby out there. This, I think, encompassing quite nicely what Counter-Strike and those open qualifiers for these RMRs are all about. Both teams, I do believe, coming from said qualies. Both teams could be given the kiss of death in their road to Rio. Raijin certainly doesn't want it to be K23. Opening kill going their way. Extra power legging up Warren. 99 damage with the AWP. We've had a fair few of those today. We've had a fair few.
That is actually quite unfortunate. Warro is so lucky to still be alive. Util to work with as well. Just collect on the floor. Red Star drop a smoke coming in. X5. This post-bomb position. Fester has no idea. This is a freebie. Downhill 4. Creating space over towards the site. The CT struggling to cross securely. But John might even be tempted to stick it. Doesn't. Finds it. Fell 2. That's huge. But he'll forward to the Hunter Finnegan. Yeah, Warro's gone. Safe to say. That 1 point of HP, he wants nothing to do with this. Keep the AWP in play. 1.1k in his bank as well. He can't afford to let it fall.
Do you know what as well? Like, he couldn't be further away from the bomb, but knowing me, I'd just be like, do I actually take 1 point of health from bench?
If it's Inferno, you would, with a new radius.
Man, have you seen, like, there's a heat map that, there was someone that produced a heat map for Inferno and, like, the damage that you take. And, like, if the bomb's planted default on A, yeah, you still take damage. I think if you're in coffins, like the entrance of coffins.
Yes,
CT,
yeah.
On B.
Or if it's planted oranges in on B, you take damage all the way basically in spawn.
It's not fun.
Yeah, or like deep in towards ramp basically. Like it's kind of insane. But I think I like how it's changed the meta a little bit though.
Certainly. No issues like that on Mirage. Instead, the bombs that are being dropped to the ones in the kill feed. Finnegan and Fessa going at it. 4 versus 3, once again favouring the CT side. Monte. They wander and stroll right into a man up in a round that is very pivotal, not only to this map, but to their economy as well. It will take a lot of the wind out of the K23 sails.
Yeah, potentially as well, right? I mean, DemQQ, great opener, staying alive too. Mate it a second, that's the bomb down. XC Power all alone. 1 versus 3. He might even attempt to save goal. I think he probably will.
I think it would certainly look to be that way, wouldn't it? think it's only appropriate that it's done. Thanks to Power realising team economy not looking too good. Monte making it a tie game, 14 all, and it boils down to another full 30. We will go the distance in the opening map of Mirage. Monte were hoping maybe it wouldn't happen this soon. I say that. I thought this was just going to be a chill save in T-Abs. Exapower wants to have a look in this round. He somehow managed to wriggle out, goes for the tap of the bomb. Fessa goes running in. Now he knows he's not on it. Great shot from Fessa. A second kill. Now that is a step too far. And all picked up for Warrow. And a 14th on the board for Monte.
Tries to make it expensive. I mean, I can see the idea there. It means that he himself will have no warp in towards his next round. Actually, the buy generally is going to be pretty bad. The way things are being set up now, you just assume that overtime's on the cards, right? I mean, these two sides are inseparable. For K23, I don't know how they want to play it. I think the force buy coming in is so risky, but if they're playing for 60, it's the best way to do it. I'd probably assume... No, in fact, I was going to say I assume they go for a low buy and try and play this one slow. They are going to force into this. This is so risky by K23. An AK in the hands of Exapower, supported by what is probably going to be primarily pistols, maybe a Galil or two. What a risky buy by K23. And this is, you know, go big or go home sort of mentality. It's a full send here. They're trying to do what they can with a double AK setup, 1 Galil and 2 Tech 9s against a full buy of Monte. Lose this and K23 have no economy to pay out the last.
Raijin running up short, Tech 9s. As you said, it's a full buy, not a half buy. And they're treating it like this round doesn't mean anything. Up short goes the pistol. Fessa able to close it out. First kill going the way of Monte. Second kill. It's close. It's a wild transfer from Clax. But it's still all level 3v3. And they know there's an M4A1S on short. Exapower trying to take the fight. It's X5 that flanks him out. Surely not like this, Monte. Great nade from DemQQ. They might just think that was a denial of the plant. Instead, Finnegan holds his nerve, trusting the teammate as X5 finds it. Joel in the clutch, 1v2. Flashbang lands close. And as he still creeps forward, scared of short. Finnegan, oh, toying with it. Joel doesn't check. Oh my god, Finnegan, he'll get the info. Joel, if he sticks, he wins. Where's X5 gone? He ran away. It was like he was going to A. What on earth has he done? It's a massive troll. It's a blunder. It's 15 for Monte.
Oh, X5. So, what X5 was trying to do there, but I think he failed to do, was go and wrap in towards market. He was kind of running over that way. I don't exactly know what happened there. Did he miss the jump, maybe? Or did he just get, you know, kind of cold feet and double back? But either way, as much as you hate to say it, he has sort of thrown the round for them. That should have been a round one. If he stuck around on the side, they just play the trade, right? Crossfire sets up. They can leave X5 over towards short if they really want to. The bomb is planted where he can at least cause a problem. But, yeah, I'm perplexed. What was X5 doing? That is so costly. Yeah. I think he was trying to wrap in towards market, but I think he actually missed the jump in towards window because he was running back up mid towards short. Basically, he's thrown that. That's really tough to watch. And that's caused a lot of issues. Now, of course, where we stand, Monte have map point on their map pick, and the buy, once again, it's K23. It's a little bit all over the place. They get a bomb plant, which is nice. But it is still a Mac 10 just for Raijin.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. If K23 throw this map away, I will be devastated for them. I mean, Monte have looked pretty decent on the CT side. You know, they've held their nerve, they've done their bit. But the fact that K23 had it in the palm of their hand, X5 making up for previous round's error, knocking the head of Red Star clean off. Fessa, gonna hear the steps on wood. He should know. Exapower's going to be positioned on the right, not the left. It's only metal on the left. It's the kitchen area that could be deceiving, though. X5 still on shore, still waiting, still poised. Joel with a trade. Clacks another. Fessa swings in, and it's looking that way, isn't it? They're not happy with it being Monte's game. They want overtime, and your wish is my command. It's more than 30 rounds on Mirage. K23, they went the distance plus some. They get overtime, they get a second shot at redemption. Can they close it out in overtime? We'll find out after the break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mirage's overtime up next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A two-half affair on Mirage. Ends things equal. Monte versus K23 goes the distance plus some. Valve rule book, 10k overtimes, meaning Monte on that CT side. Things get a little scarier than what they're used to. It's $10,000 split between 3 rounds. Ideally, they need 2 of them. And how this game's been as well, it's been fairly split down the middle. Very interesting. We talked about it during the break. 1 round difference. Think back to the X5 round in 29. Had he have not gone short, K23 would be having a bit of a break. And there'd be a map up to none.
Yeah, DemQQ as well. Back sight. All about trying to buy some time. The bomb will go down. Not the most common part, and Raijin should avoid the spam pretty nicely, and he'll just about do so. 5 versus 5 retake. Not for much longer. Joel to fall.
Nades. Thinking they're going to do a lot, Raijin. As far away as he can. A volley will certainly push him out into the open. X5, he needs to hurry up on his rotate. But he needs to make sure there's no attention drawn. They've heard the steps, but Warrow still can't convert. Clax a second. Red Star does eventually find the flank, but it's way too late in the round. K23 up by 1, 16-15.
Much better. Again, you know, for Monte, allowing the bombs go down is fine, but in the 5 vs 5 retake, the inability to trade becomes so costly because all K23 have to do is play numbers. You know, for Raijin finding 1 through the smoke is a massive positive. And then K23 in that post-spawn don't get forced off the site very easily at all. Now, we've had a couple of breaks, of course, half-time, end of game, coming in towards OT, and all the rest. I've been doing some research. I don't know if you can enlighten me, because I spent the good part of an hour last night and a bit of time today. Do you know actually who is the IGL for Monte? I proposed this to Twitter, and no one seems to know. Because I've heard 3 different people say 3 different things. Of Warrow, DemQQ, and someone said Joel as well, but I don't know if anyone else at home knows. But do you know?
Personally, I was under the impression that it was shared between the 2.
Of who?
Joel used to be an AWPer. Obviously, he's probably second AWP here. Warrow's the primary, as you can see. Illustrating that quite nicely for the Monte CT side. No player has actually fit an IGL role before.
Yeah,
what I find interesting is that 3 of the players in this Monte roster originally were AWPers. So someone has to call the shots. My guess would be probably one of the more experienced guys, right? Like a Warrow or a Red Star.
Yeah. I mean, I did a good amount of research, and I could find literally nothing to say who actually was the IGL on this side. There's no information, not even a forum making suggestions. So, I mean, everyone else that knows at home, do let us know. Because, so far they're making good calls, it seems. They're about to find themselves tying this game 16 apiece.
Oh, dear. Exit power. Now on his lonesome. The 1 vs 5. Monte have a response. They have an equalizer. They have their chance back into this game on the CT side. Better late than never, of course. Yeah, the IGL debate is something that's quite interesting because obviously a lot of people, even I was at one point, under some impression that this was just a mixed team, right? And the logo was just like an MS Paint kind of job. But no offense, Monte. It is actually an org. But I don't know the IGLing situation because
no one does, it seems, yeah.
I would guess maybe it's a little bit shared because everyone's going to have their own ideas, and with no one person at the helm, you're always going to want to contribute in one way or another. That's just how the team works. But I think it would be if it's Warrow, fair enough. He's taken on like the Jame roles, you know, where he's like trying to set himself up with the AWP and finding kills. Quite honestly, I'm a big believer that it's going to be Red Star in this team.
I think a lot of people seem to agree with you.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I put it on Twitter. No idea. I proposed it to a couple of other people. I don't know. I don't think there's no official statement saying who the IGL actually is, but they've done a pretty good job so far in terms of making some calls. But speaking of IGL, I think they're going to step up. Joel to fall. If it is Red Star, he's about to meet him in towards window as extra powers way to repeat. He lines himself up 1. Warrow to fall. He's DemQQ. And Red Star have a lot to do.
X5 penalising DemQQ. It's Red Star against the rest. Spamming away that AK fine in the first. Still 3 more to go. I think it's safe to say K23 have a 17th in their back pocket. I don't think there's any wiggle room back into this one. Red Star walking into Raijin's crosshair. K23 have the upper hand heading onto the CT side. Sure, probably could have been done in regulation. If K23 pinch away the map pick of Monte, you get the feeling this could be a 2-0.
Better as well. Mid-aggression comes through. Great amount of control from them, and, well, for K23, they just deny a lot of that presence that the CT side were trying to set up. Now, of course, they move on towards their CT side. And you got to say as well, for a side like Monte, with a bit more like a puggy approach to them, the T side does favour them, but they need to be flawless from here on out if they want to settle this within OT number 1. K23, the magic number 19 is what we're looking for. Now, I've had a couple of suggestions thrown around since we've proposed the question of who actually is the IGL. Some people have thrown out Fessa. That's not a name I expected. I don't think he did the IGLing. He didn't do the IGLing over towards Australia's talent. So
I don't get with that though. It's like he's
Is
the
that a new
youngest
skill?
and he's like the least experienced out of everyone.
yeah,
Maybe
literally.
other than like Joel, but even then he's played in like tier 2 for a little bit. Fess has just played, majoritively speaking, the Academy League. So I don't know. I'm pretty spun, and it seems to be like everyone has other ideas.
Yeah, it's one in which is not readily available information, which for an RMR qualifier, it's not often you see that. But there was also people making a couple of proposals that there is no IGL. That's the magic touch. We'll have to wait and see. DemQQ.
Just play it like an FPL punt.
Exactly.
Run at 'em.
X5 will find one. Clax in for the trainer towards Fessa. Numbers brought level, but Warrior has other ideas before X powers up, brains off, and drops to bomb 2.
Warrior with another though. Bomb was in sandwich. Thought maybe that was going to be the item that held Monte back and forced them to retake the A site instead. The digits punched in. Warrow's AWP holding CT. Joel sits line and wait in jungle. Warrow doesn't expect a ramp flank, at least that quick. Joel in the clutch. 1 versus 2. Time continues to tick. Raijin swings. Raijin connects. And it is K23 map points.
Close. 1 notch away. 1 speed bump to taking Monte's pick under the belt, and then, of course, going in towards map number 2 with a nice advantage. Ancient is a map in which we've seen quite a lot over the space of RMR, and for us too as individuals. That's where, of course, K23 want to see things off. But I have to wait and see if that is the case. They're 1 round away. And a nice retake from them. Finnegan finding some space in towards back ramp. The flank was perfect. Monte, flawless from here on out. And that's just to push us to double OT. They need to step it up massively.
Let's see. Let us ravel in the excitement that Monte now need back-to-back rounds. Otherwise, K23 will take away their map pick. Things get scary. Things get close. Fessa straight out in middle. Monte want that control. K23 not doing all too much to excite us in terms of the early round aggression. Playing things very calculative, understanding they are 1 round away from more or less pushing the boat out to a very difficult comeback for Monte. A reverse sweep required. Through the smoke, X5. Plucking out Fessa, DemQQ. Nate settles in behind the rifler in con. Molly to try and force him forward as well, and it does, X5. Getting even more damage off though. Joel does trade, but 13 points of health is all he's left with.
And while we have a little bit of a slower period, I've had confirmation of who the IGL is. Lovely Seb. He helped them do pictures. He helped them with their pictures.
Same DM.
It's Warrow. Warrow is the IGL. Interesting stuff, in fact. You know, I think you're kind of right in terms of that AWP IGL sort of role. And on the same side as well, one of the more experienced players, of course, with Mad Lions. They had a fairly decent run. And ex-Mad Lions, too. They managed to pick themselves up a trophy. So, within Tier 2, one of the more experienced players. IGL now for this roster. Pop shot coming out from Exit Power, trying to match himself with the AWP towards back pillar. Tough to do so. And Finnegan, speaking of IGLs, one more fall.
Mate, the time, it could have looked so good, Raijin. Gonna find one. I mean, K23, you might as well give it a go. I think the money's good enough. Joel holding the angle. Legged up. Both AWPers low. Clax lobbing in the nade. Will he find a kill onto Joel? Yes, scores highly. The nade dunking down the AWPer, but DemQQ finding clax. And Raijin spammed down through the wall. DemQQ holds his nerve. 18-17, Monte. One away from pushing us to double overtime.
We said it was looking unlikely. Much better. Very close. I mean, for that B-side pop, it was very standard, very puggy, but it worked really, really well for them. A couple of missed shots with the AWP from X-Power provided to be quite costly. I hope. One away. For K23, another space for them where they've kind of crumbled a little bit. We saw them do it towards regulation, which forces on towards OT. With that very weird force spy coming in. Needs to be careful not to let it happen again. X-Power doesn't get the timing, sneaking into the smokes. Well, DemQQ's got space. And X-Power pulls away at the worst possible time.
Yeah, it's so good for DemQQ. Now, if he's to abuse the fact that he's got short, there's two players in apartments that are going to get caught completely off guard. Finnegan drops down and he did actually spot DemQQ, but clearly information not relayed. Finnegan's USP now has to go huge. There's your one, but only one. X5 in the back lines finding another. 3 versus 2, spam down. Red Star running out of ammunition. Warrow's in for aerial support from apartments. But the bomb still needs to go down. It's Warrow against 3. It's Monte that try, but it's K23 that look to take away map 1, and they are 1 bullet away from doing so. Damn if you do, damned if you don't. Victory for K23. They steal map 1 away from the European side.
What a way to do it. I kind of thought for a second as well it was going to crumble back into a double OT with the slightly kind of janky buy in towards the 29th round. I thought kind of K23, their approach here was very aggressive, and it nearly came exactly the same in towards that final round. But 19-17, they see out Monte's pick, and they go on to Ancient with